What's going on, everyone? We are back with another amazing farming strategy. So let's not waste time. Hit that like button to let me know you like these farming strategies, and let's just get into it. So we are going to be utilizing essences, and the great thing about essences, you can pretty much throw these into any strategy that you really choose. What I am doing is I am still keeping with the farming scarabs. Scarabs are just too damn good, especially with the currency exchange. If you don't want to sell them in bulk, or use a third-party program to sell them in bulk, you do not have to do that. You can just sell them on the currency exchange. We're going right up the middle, grabbing this essence node right here for an additional essence. I come up here and I grab an additional shrine, just because shrines give more pack size. There are more monsters surrounding them. Another good strategy might be to run ritual with this instead of scarabs if you want to run some ritual, or not run the ritual and just kill the people that spawn with the rituals, because the ritual altars do spawn more monsters. But like I said, you could change this up and kind of edit this to how you like it. So we go up here, we take this scarab node to get more scarabs in your maps. I path over here to grab this extra imprisoned monsters, have a 50% chance to have 3 additional essences. This is pretty important, even though it's kind of out of the way. But what's nice is you get some scarab nodes all the way there, and some connected map nodes for a little bit of extra map sustain. Go up here. I go to the right and the left just simply because these are also scarab nodes and I had a bunch of extra points. But before you do something like this and just take both pathways through, make sure you are getting all of the quantity nodes in the middle and also the quantity and rarity nodes in the middle. What's nice about this is you could path into the 3 in the middle because we have to take this essence node right here anyways. Some more shrine stuff in the middle again for increased pack size. There's even a node that gives a chance for even more pack size. I go over here, do Searing Exarch, even though I feel like as the days go by, I keep ignoring the altars because I just don't care that much. I'm moving so fast. I don't feel like reading. You should not do that. I do not condone that. The Eldritch Searing Exarch altars are incredibly powerful. You get a lot of good stuff. I'm just lazy and being stupid. I prioritize ambush scarabs, cartography scarabs, and also the essence scarabs, obviously, because we use them and they actually sell really well too. And then up here we get some more scarab stuff, and then we come to the part that I have to preface this with. If your build is not strong enough to do this, or some of these essences right off the bat on tier 16 yellow maps or yellow corrupted maps or something crazy, you can take some of these points out. Increase the effect of explicit modifiers on your map, make the negatives on your map stronger. They also increase things like the quantity that drops from your map, and it is important, but it's not important enough for you to be dying all the time. What's good about this strategy is you can do it with just white maps. Now, I don't mean tier 2 maps as in white. I mean white maps as in a tier 14 to 16 map that is just not magic or rare, has no mods on it. And then you can, as you're killing essences and you're selling and make more in currency, you can make your build stronger by trading for items, and then you can work your way up to that. It's not a problem with this strategy. It's not ideal to do it with a white, non-rare, non-chiseled map or something like that, but you can do it and work your way into it. That's the great thing about some of these strategies. It's not all or nothing. It's not, oh, you need all these scarabs, you need to juice it like this. No, you don't have to. You aren't going to make as much currency in the beginning, but you'll still make plenty of currency, trust me, and you will be working towards the ability to do that. Now that goes for this node right here, the increased effect to explicit modifiers per 5% quality. So if you're chiseling 4 times, you are getting a 12% increase, not to mention these 3% right here. You can take those out in the beginning if your build is not quite strong enough yet. And lastly, this node right here, Crystal Residence. It is paired with these Remnant of Corruptions. You can either buy these off the currency exchange or just trade for them for the Remnants of Corruption, because you are going to need these. So I suggest speccing into this until you start saving up a decent amount of Remnants of Corruption, or just keeping these 2 nodes on all the time so you're constantly farming them. They're about 2 to 3 chaos a piece. But again, I am just buying a bunch of them. I have enough currency now, it's not that big a deal. So I keep these off, because if the essences are corrupted, you cannot corrupt them yourself, and you lose that advantage of being able to get an upgrade, which we will go over in a little bit. Crystal Resonance. The map boss gets an essence mod for every one you clear. So if you clear 6 to 7 essences before you get to the boss, he is going to have 6 to 7 essence modifiers. This is suicide if your build is not ridiculously strong. My build does a ton of damage, and I walked in to the one time I tried to use this node and cleared a bunch of essences before I did the boss, and it was a no-go. It was laughable. This build does a ton of damage, and his health barely moved. So, if your build is strong enough to do it, great. You probably aren't watching this video. You probably have your own strategy if your build is that strong. It is a great node to get some extra essences if you can do it. But I'd say a large amount of the people that are watching this and me filming this, I cannot do this node, even though I do 60 to 70 million with my build. The map doesn't really matter. I hop between I hop between Mesa and Fields, mostly Mesa. I like the layout. It's the same every time. Very, very simple layout. The boss is in the middle, so I just like that. Well, it doesn't really matter when running this strategy. Just run a map you prefer that ideally has some decent divination card drops. Now, for the Scarabs, I run Essence Scarab of Stability. That is going to make it so that when you nail an Essence with a Remnant of Corruption, it can only result in upgrading or transforming them. It can't just corrupt or do nothing. This is very, very good. I highly suggest using these, but keep in mind if you are really, really low on currency and you are just starting out the season or league this late and you can't afford these, it's fine. You can use no Scarabs at all. For the very beginning, you're going to get some essences. You'll be able to flip them on the currency exchange and get enough to use these Scarabs. Essence of Stability, Scarab of Ascent. Essences found are a tier higher. Obviously important, clearly for just the fact of getting better essences. And then I use 3 Essence Scarabs because you can use up to 5 of these. I use 3 of them just to get 6 extra essences. And then on the map device, again, you don't have to do this in the beginning, but you can, once you can afford it and you're comfortable running these, you should be adding the 4 additional imprisoned monsters for the 6 chaos. It is well worth it, especially when you're using these Scarabs. So I'm going to run a map, excuse me, and I'm just going to make it magic, just for the sake of not dying, because again, I do a ton of damage, but I can get one shot very, very easily. That's not because of, per se, the essence monsters can be incredibly strong, because they can, but just the fact that, for the sake of this video and me not having to keep running back through portals, I'm going to choose a little easy one, and it's also going to prove my point that you can do these on a little bit easier maps, and it's not going to make that big of a difference. So I'm going to go through, kill a bunch of stuff. Now, what you want to use the Remnants of Corruption on are the ones that have purple essences that start with either M, E, D, or S. It is the Meds, which is the Misery, Envy, Dread, and Scorn. There's also a pink essence that starts with S. Ignore that. It's pink. It's not purple. It has to be purple. This one is just 2 essences. One's Deafening. One is Screaming. Just going to run this, kill him, pick up the essences, and move on. Now, hopefully we find one that has a purple one. Now, this one looks kind of purple. It's a little purple bluish, but it starts with a G. It is Greed. That's not an M, an E, a D, or an S. So we do not corrupt that. Now, here's one, has a purple. Dread starts with a D. Those are the ones that we want to hit with a corruption. Has a chance of upgrading to the best essences. That one time it did not. But sometimes it is going to upgrade into one of the 4 super high essences that give about 20 to 25 chaos per. So I just want to hit that with a Remnant of Corruption. Alright, so I finished that map. Got some decent essences. Didn't find another one to hit with a Remnant of Corruption. You'll usually get, especially if you're using the Scarabs, about 2 or 3 that you should be corrupting. I only got 1. That was kind of bad luck. Kind of crappy to have during a video. But if you upgrade some of the essences, or when you Remnant the Corruption, the purple ones, they have a chance to turn into Essence of Insanity, or Delirium, or Hysteria. These are the ones you want the most. I mean, you want all of them in general. These are worth the most, though, and you will get plenty of them. I don't have many essences because I bulk sold all of them last night, but I ran for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half before I went to bed, and like half hour this morning just to get some gold to keep my town going, and I already have a bunch saved up. But, you know, in the beginning, when you're just selling these, you say you get an Essence of Insanity and you just need some quick chaos, you can go to the currency exchange, Essence of Insanity, say I want some chaos. I have Essence of Insanity 21 chaos right there. Place order, get your 21 chaos, and you can just do that once you get some of the bigger essences. Now when you're selling these, especially on the currency exchange. I suggest you upgrade them. If you have an upgrade tab, they have this cool little upgrade button. I just go all the way to deafening because I don't want to sell both shrieking essences and deafening all the time. But if you do not have a currency tab, there's an easy way to just upgrade these. You can take 3 or as many as you have. You can take the full stack, go to sell items, sell 3 of them. The vendor will upgrade that for you. So it's just an extra step. It's kind of annoying. Do love the Essence currency tab, but it is not required. Now the other thing that you can do is sell on the TFT bulk selling thing. I also think Maxroll has a new thing that is for bulk selling that might work. I'm not going to go over that here. As soon as I mention TFT or show it, I get some hate comments about saying, oh, TFT, even though I clearly said you do not have to use it. And I appreciate the people that watch these videos that comment on that before I can and say, he literally said you don't have to use TFT. I do use TFT still. I've been using it for a couple years now. It does help. It does make some of the bulk selling a little bit easier. But the currency exchange, I think you actually get a little bit more. So you sell on TFT if you want to sell quick. You have to sell it for about 85% of the asking price, or 90% if you have a ton of them. People want more bulk. So make sure if you're doing that, you save up quite a few, or people aren't going to trade you for them in general. I'm saying maybe 15 to 20 divine worth, which is not that crazy of a thing. That's maybe 3 hours worth, if that. So yeah, do it that way. And lastly, the 2 scarabs that I did not talk about because I do not use them, but you can mess around with them. They're just a little bit pricier than the other ones. Rare monsters that are natural inhabitants of the area imprisoned by essence. This will just take normal rares too and put them in essences. This is a good scarab. I have not used it too much because, again, it is pretty pricey. It is now up to 57 chaos a piece. That is a lot. And because I can get one shot so easily, I don't want to tank the map by, pressing my luck with getting one shot and using all my portals. But it is something you can mess around with. Just take an Essence Scarab out. And then the Essence Scarab adaptation. This is the crop rotation of Essence. If you know what I'm talking about, the passive right here that makes it so once you do one, it empowers all the other ones. This one is awesome, but again, can make it super, super rippy because as you keep doing them, you're going to keep making them stronger and stronger. And unless you have a pretty strong build and you are very confident, I suggest not doing this. You should try this though. I suggest trying one, just see if your build can do it, or maybe you like it. Maybe you don't do a ton of damage, but you're good at kiting them around. Then this Scarab is definitely worth it. For my build, it just isn't. I want to keep this a little bit more beginner friendly, since I'm assuming a lot of people that watch this aren't doing insane amount of builds and being tanky as hell. The Scarabs, you get the same thing. You can sell them on the currency exchange, or you can use some kind of bulk selling thing, but they sell just fine on the currency exchange. Especially if you are taking the quantity nodes and even some of the increased effect explicit modifiers, not much, you're going to get a lot of gold that drops. You should have plenty of gold to sell and also keep your town happy and healthy as you're sending out and sailing. I do have a port video of the strategy I do with sending my ports out. That strategy I still use. It's still working great. That video was, 4 or 5 days ago. You can just go back on the channel and look, and I'll probably have it linked at the end of this video. But that is the strategy, guys. I don't think I missed much, but always check the notes in the video description. If I think of something after it's posted or someone says something in the comments and I go, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, that is a very good thing. So make sure you're reading that. Get followed over on twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk, where I am streaming a decent amount. Come hang with us. We're a small group, people that just like to, talk crap and, help each other out. Sometimes run maps together. And then make sure you're liking, subscribing to the video. And I know I'm forgetting something. The Discord. It's a Discord link. Join the Discord, especially if you have questions or you need help. That is the best way to do it, is to hop on the Discord. So thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to leave a comment on the video. Let me know how you're liking the league, how your league's going, what you're playing, and so on. We will catch you on the next one.